Okay. Yeah. So to answer your question, Naresh, so initially when JavaScript was launched, it was not even considered as a programming language. It was more of a web development project actually. But eventually it got converted into a full-fledged programming language. Okay. So JavaScript has some limitations. It has some issues like we all aware of, but that's still okay actually. So that is why we can leverage we can leverage TypeScript to, you can say, work around these issues of JavaScript actually. Okay, so that is why we'll be learning TypeScript as well inside this particular course. Okay, yeah. Oh, I see some more people. So I see Alok. Oh, he's from a Cyprus batch. Hi, Alok. I see some more people. Sakshi, Mahendra, Shiva. So looks like some more new faces. Okay, so I see Pratiksha. Hi, Pratiksha. Okay, we had a good conversation yesterday. So Pratik, Shritik. Okay, so some good names actually. So good to see you all. Okay,
Hi,
so
Pish. Shritik is actually that's my son's name. My name is
oh,
Annapurna. Yeah. Earlier I called you and we discussed about the rules. Yeah.
oh, okay. Annapurna, you are the one who sent me that LinkedIn request, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We
Okay,
connected
okay,
in
okay.
LinkedIn. Yeah.
Right. I'm still trying to get familiar with you all, so please don't mind if I'll forget your names or something. Our conversations, why so many people are connecting to me every single day, so it becomes very hard for me to understand. So I hope you understand. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. No worries. Yeah. That's my son's name actually. It is showing up. Yeah. Actually, my name is Annapurna.
Okay. But glad to see you. Okay, so we'll get started, guys. So, okay, so any questions as of now? Any questions? No questions? We'll get started. So, Ravi Teja, are you okay? So, whatever questions you had, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So, we'll keep on exploring JavaScript and TypeScript as well. All right. So, just give me one sec. Hmm. Okay. I'll share my screen. I have this Playwright project open. Hmm. But I'm so glad to hear such wonderful feedback coming from you all actually. So I'm so overwhelmed actually. Thank you so much guys for, keeping your faith actually. Okay, so I'll share my screen. Okay, so looks like my screen should be visible now. Okay, so today is still we can say, the demo class actually. Okay, but for you guys it is a demo who are actually joining in for the first time. For me it is a regular class. Okay, so for me it's the same thing actually. Okay, so yesterday we covered what we started with, the primitive data types. Okay, so let us do a small recap. So I would like to ask some of you, so anyone who can tell me what are primitive data types? Okay, what you guys do is don't unmute yourself, just raise your hands. Okay, so otherwise it will be a big chaos if all of you unmute yourself and start talking. So let us do one thing. So just raise your hands. If I'll ask you questions, just raise your hands and I'll ask you to unmute. Okay, makes sense. Now, anyone who can tell me what are the primitive data types in JavaScript? What are data types in JavaScript actually? Anyone? Okay, so Aishi has raised a hand. Okay, so first come first serve. Okay, so it is kind of fastest finger first, something like this. Okay, so yeah, Aishi, please go ahead. Please unmute. Let me know.
Classification of a variable or data is basically
Classification of variable or data. Okay, absolutely. That's correct. So what are the different data types that we know?
uh,
You remember?
number,
Number,
and boolean,
Boolean,
number,
correct.
boolean, and then we have big int or symbol and
Okay.
strings.
Strings. Okay. There are few more.
Mm, okay, let me
Okay.
open.
That's okay. Okay. Madhumita, if you can continue.
Yeah, we have null, we have undefined.
Exactly. Null and undefined. So looks like, okay. So Aishi
Do
has
we
covered.
consider
Hmm.
NaN as a data type?
No, actually, NaN is
Not a
Okay.
not a.
number.
Yes. So not a number. Yes, it is very confusing, guys. Okay. So not a number is actually considered as part of number only. So, okay, let me prove it to you. I hope you're able to see my screen, right? So, can you just confirm if you're able to see?
Yes, I can
Yes.
see
Yes.
it.
Okay. So let me show you. I have not talked about this type of operator. So basically, this type of operator does what? It simply gives me the data type of any value, whether it is a number, string, or whatever. So let us see what is NaN actually. Okay. So this will give us a very good idea. Unfortunately, And see, I'm stressing on this word unfortunately. This NaN is a part of the number data type, but NaN is actually an kind of an error in JavaScript. Why? Whenever I'm trying to perform some kind of calculation, right? If JavaScript is not able to perform, then it throws this NaN, but it is actually a part of number data type. So it is not separate. It is inside the, you can say, number or numeric data type. Okay. I hope it is fine. Okay, so what else? So this is about data types. Okay, we even talked about dynamic typing. Who would like to tell me what is dynamic typing? Just raise your hands, guys. Raise your hands. Let's see. Dynamic typing. It is not difficult. Okay, so Dhaneshwar is raise a hand. Okay. Yes, Dhaneshwar, please tell me.
Dynamically typing is something that once we declare any variable, suppose we have declared one variable
Okay.
called as the on the we can see on the screen, that is num is equal to Piyush. Actually, it is a string type we declared on line
Uh,
17, and
line number
then
17.
we are assigning the Boolean value that is true on line number 18. So that means once it is declared with one data type, we can
Uh,
change the data type and assign the another data type value to it. That is nothing but the
exactly.
dynamically typed.
Absolutely. That is perfect. Okay. So, and can you also tell me, Dhaneshwar, what is the meaning of these three dots? Why I'm
Um,
getting these three dots just below the num1?
I think that is because the on line number 14,
Huh?
it is written as num, and we are printing it as num1, and num1 has not been declared yet.
Exactly. So num1 is not being declared yet. So that is one of the differences between JavaScript and TypeScript. In JavaScript, if I try to use any variable which is not declared, JavaScript does not throw any error. But the moment I try to run it, at the runtime, I'll get this error. Okay. So, but in TypeScript, like I was showing you, right? So if I try to create a variable called num1, okay, and then if I try, okay, now forget about num1. See, I have not declared this num2 variable. And if I try to use it, immediately TypeScript is flagging this error. I think this is a better way to learn TypeScript. I'm not teaching you TypeScript yet, but we'll keep on comparing. That is how we can eventually learn TypeScript. And eventually you should all feel that TypeScript is very simple actually. Why? JavaScript is also simple, so TypeScript has to be simple. Okay, so this is about JavaScript. Okay, so very well, Danishwar. So yes, see, why am I asking you these questions? Because repetition is extremely important, guys. The more you revise, the more you practice, the better your concepts are. Okay, so this is about dynamic typing. Okay, and then we talked about the booleans. Okay, anyone who remembers why I'm using this is something is this particular what is it? Is it word character? Okay, these two characters is anyone? Just raise your hands. Just raise your hands. Okay. Anyone else other than Danishwar? I would like to hear from other people as well. Okay. So Madhumita has raised her hand. Okay. Mm, anyone else? So, okay. So Pratiksha is unmuted. Pratiksha, you want to say? Danishwar, Bhanu. Okay. Bhanu has raised her
Yes,
hand.
for better understanding,
Hmm.
we initially write is so that whenever whomsoever is reading the script can understand what that variable means. That is why it is written in lower camel case, but with starts with an
Ah,
is. It is like
exactly.
asking a question for the boolean value: is it true or false?
Exactly. So, okay. So that is what the challenge is, guys. Okay. So without the is keyword, it becomes little hard for me to understand whether it is actually a boolean or not. Okay. So this is keyword, not a keyword basically. So this is simply tells me that this is a boolean value which is going to give me true or false. Okay. So that is about booleans. Okay. So now we're going to start with strings actually. So string is one of the most important use data types in JavaScript. Okay. So what are strings? Anyone can tell me this? We just touched upon the strings. Okay. But we have not discussed in depth. Anyone can tell me what are strings?
Whichever is enclosed in double quotes.
Okay. So whichever is enclosed in double quotes. Okay. That is fine. Okay. But we can probably define this slightly better. Okay, so what is a string? So guys, whatever your name is, suppose, okay, I see Ravi Teja on the screen, I see Bhanu, okay, I'm also there. So Our names are what? Our names is basically group of characters, and that is a string. So strings are pieces of text or strings of character. Okay, so we wrap them in quotes, either single quote or double quote, but we have to be consistent. So I'll write this for you. Okay, so once the enrollments are done, we're going to create a WhatsApp group. Okay, so for all the people who have actually enrolled, and there I'll be sharing all these detailed notes with you guys. Okay, what all things we are learning, I'm going to share all these notes with you all along with the assignments. Okay, so this is about strings. So let me just close it for now, and I'll simply hit enter. Okay, so these are the notes that I'm actually writing for you. Okay, so strings are pieces of text. Very, very important thing. So how do I create strings? Very simple. Suppose if I want to create a variable called first name, firstly, it has to be lower camel casing. So now what is lower camel casing? The first character of the first word has to be lowercase. Okay, and then all the subsequent characters have to be in the uppercase. So this is called as lower camel casing. Now, suppose if I want to store a name, say Ziggy. Okay, this is how I create a string in JavaScript. Okay, we'll talk about how the memory representation is, because that is the right way of understanding, okay, these data types. So, but this is how we create a string in JavaScript. Notice that I'm using what? I'm using double quotes. Okay, so can I use single quotes? The answer is yes. So can I do this message equal to hello? Notice that firstly, I was using double quotes, which works, and then I'm using the single quotes, which also works. Okay, so there's another way. Anyone can tell me what is the another way? There is one more way. One is double quote, one is single quote. There's another way. Anyone who knows it?
Backtick.
Backtick, exactly. Correct. So what is backtick key? Some of you may know, some of you may not know. People who are joining in for the first time, I'm pretty sure some of you may not be even aware of backtick. Okay, so what is backtick? It is right below the escape key. Okay, so when I started learning JavaScript, trust me guys, I had no idea what backtick is. Only after learning JavaScript, I came to know that there is something called as backtick key. So animal equal to, okay, so, okay, let me use backticks now. So if I'll simply use backticks, notice that this is kind of a slanting quote of, I don't know, what do you say? This is backtick key actually, okay, with a slight angle. Okay, now if I do this, this is called as creating a string. So I can create string using double quote, single quote, and the backtick keys. This is how we can create. But very important thing to understand is you want to be consistent. What do I mean by this? Suppose if you are creating 3 strings, right, and you are in very good mood, maybe your manager has given you good appraisal. So you think that, okay, let me create a double quote string like this. Let me create a single quote string, and let me create a backtick key string actually. Not the right way. Why? Am I being consistent? The answer is no. So I want to be consistent. Yes, I'm just teaching you that these are the 3 different ways, but in real-time projects, you want to use only one. And you want to educate your team that we should follow the same consistent pattern. Okay, so that is what the thing is. And this is how we create strings, which is very, very, very simple. Now, I want to prove that this is really a string. What do I do? Anyone can tell me how do I find out if it is actually a string or not? Anyone?
We
Tell me,
can use
guys.
type of operator.
We can use the type of operator. Exactly. So that is what we do. Type of space first name. Okay. Not very difficult, guys. Okay. So it's quite simple. If I click on the play button, and notice that before I clicked on this play button, I forgot to click on this button. So I see the previous output and I see the current output. So in this case, what is a good idea? The good idea is always to clear and then click on the play. Otherwise, I'll have to keep on scrolling down. So this proves that this first name variable is actually a string. Okay, so this is about the type of operator. Okay, now what else? We can use single quote inside single quote. What do you think, guys? Can I do this? If I want to use single quote inside, maybe this one, or maybe double quote inside, can I do this? Anyone has ever tried? It's not difficult actually. So my requirement is I want to use single quote inside single quote or double quote inside double quote. So is it possible? The answer is yes. Okay, let me show you. It's not difficult. Suppose if I try to use single quote, it is allowed. Now, inside the single quote, double quote is allowed. The answer is yes. This is allowed. But can I use double quote inside double quote? The answer is no. You cannot do that. Because now JavaScript is confused. Why? Because the first quotes means the start of the string. The last quote means end of the string. Okay, so this is how JavaScript understands that this is a string starting and ending. But what if I use double quote inside? What does it mean? It simply means that now JavaScript thinks that this is the ending of a string. And if this is the ending, then what is this? That is what is causing confusion. Okay, so this is not allowed. So double quote inside double quote, not allowed. Single quote inside single quote, the same thing. Now, again, JavaScript is confused. So now JavaScript thinks that instead of this quote, this is the end of your string. So if this is the end of a string, what is this? Again, JavaScript is confused. So that is the thing, guys. Okay, so what you need to do, if you still want to use quotes, majorly you will not be required to do all this, but I'm telling you the foundation concepts. This is something that is going to make you a very strong JavaScript programmer. Okay, because suppose if you are giving interviews, we don't know what interviewer might ask you. Okay, or if you're working in real-time projects, right, you should know what you're doing. Okay, so this is very, very important from foundation point of view. Okay, so if we are clearing the foundation, clearing interview should be automatic. So my focus is not for you to clear interviews. My focus is to clear a foundation so that clearing interview should be automatic. That's the right way to do it. Okay, now this is causing an issue, so let me remove it. So I'll remove this as well, this double quote as well. Okay, but if I still want to use single quote, what do we do? Okay, so this is something that we'll see just now. Okay, so let me create another string. So I have a string called first name. Let me create a last name as well. So last name, which is this one, which is again lower camel casing. So let me call last name as, I don't know, Canary, something, whatever. Now, if I try to do this, first name, okay, plus last name, what is happening actually? Anyone who can tell me, this is going to be an amazing concept. So this is very, very similar to how we have in Java. Okay, so
Concatenation.
Concatenation.
okay, this is fine, concatenation, but something else is also happening other than concatenation. I know everyone will say concatenation, but something else is happening beyond concatenation. What is happening? Anyone? No. Okay, I'll tell you.
Maybe the new string is being created
Exactly, Daneshwar.
by
That is
combining.
exactly right. Yes, because same like Java, okay, we have a concept in JavaScript which is called as strings are immutable. And when I was learning JavaScript many years back, I saw this particular term, but I was able to understand what is the meaning of strings are immutable. Okay, so we'll try to understand this as well. So first concept about strings is strings are immutable. What is the meaning of this concept actually? Okay, so we'll try to understand the memory diagram, and from the memory diagram, it is going to be very, very crystal clear. So now I will be sharing. Okay, some of you are messaging in chat as well. Okay, new variable is getting created. Yes, Shraddha. Okay, yes, so Shraddha is part of my existing group, so she knows a lot of things. Okay, so glad to see that.
One quick
So
question. So first name and last name always be const, right? So can we declare with const?
it depends actually. It depends upon your requirement. Okay. So Naresh, if I'm trying to basically change the variable later on, in that case, I should declare it with let. Okay. So now see in this case, what am I doing? I'm using let. It means my intention is I might change this variable later on. But if my intention is I don't want to change this variable at all, so the best option is use const. Okay, so that is your first preferred choice is always use const actually. Okay, so let me just use const with all these things. Okay, now quick question. I want to change this let and this let together. Anyone who remembers? Yesterday we talked about the shortcut, right? How we can change.
Multi cursor control D.
Yeah,
Multi-cursor.
multi-cursor. Correct. How do we create multi-cursor? We learned yesterday, right? What is the shortcut key in both Windows and Mac?
Control D.
Control
Control.
D. Correct. Right? So this is how I can do. So I'll simply use const. This is called multi-cursor. Pretty cool thing actually. Now, okay. Now, are you guys able to see my browser or not?
No.
Are you able to see?
Not
No?
yet.
Okay. You should be able to see my browser.
Yes,
Now,
I can see it.
perfect. Now, what is happening from memory point of view? Let me clear it firstly. Now, let us try to understand what is happening behind the scenes. Okay. Now, forget these two. Let us comment out these two. Now, from memory point of view, what is happening? I'm creating how many variables? First variable, and then I'm creating a second variable. Okay. So from memory, what is happening here? Let us see. Let us try to understand. This is a very important concept, guys. Very, very, very important. Oh, what is happening? Okay, so let's say if this is my, I don't know why it is not working actually. Just give me one sec, guys. So let me just, okay, do one thing. I'll create one new whiteboard. So from memory point of view, what is happening? As soon as I'm using the const keyword, what just happens is, right, I'm instructing JavaScript that, hey, please create a new string in the memory for me. Okay, so, okay, looks like it is working now. Not sure what happened. Probably a bug in the Microsoft whiteboard. Funny. So what am I doing here? How many variables I'm creating? First name and last name. So what do I want to do? I want to create two boxes basically. Okay. So imagine that I'm creating two boxes in the memory. First box, which is this. Second box is this. Okay. Now, how do I refer to these boxes? By giving them some names. So how do I give the some names? So the first, okay, so the value of first box is Ziggy and the second one is Canary. So what do I do? Let me write like this. This is the value of first box. This is the value of second box, which is Canary. Now, this is the value of the first box. This is the value of second box. When I say box, box simply means a container wherein you're going to store some value. Okay. So how do I refer to these boxes? In order to refer to these boxes, I want to refer to this memory location, and that is what I call as a variable name. So variable name simply refers to the memory location which is holding this value, which is Ziggy and Canary. Okay, so in this case, this is my first name variable. So let me just do like this. Okay, and this is my second variable. Let me call it last name. Let me shorten it as well so that now it should be more clear. Okay, so now I'm having two variables. So these two are completely separated, completely isolated variables, and these are strings. Okay, so what did I just tell you? Strings are immutable. So firstly, I cannot modify a string. And if I try to modify any string, JavaScript simply ignores. It doesn't throw any error, but it simply ignores it. Okay, now, as soon as I try to do this kind of operation, so this kind of operation is different than this one. Okay. So what is happening? Okay, let me remove this for now. And what if I try to do this? I'm telling JavaScript that, hey, take the first string, take the second string, try to concatenate. Whenever I try to do any kind of concatenation, what really happens inside the memory? Inside the memory, a new string is getting created, guys. This is very, very important. So what is the value of first name? Ziggy. What is the value of last name? Canary. So a new string is getting created in the memory. But what is the variable name? Which variable name is referring to this memory location? So Dhaneshwar, you were telling correctly, correct. But what is the variable name that is referring to this memory location? Can you tell me? Yes, Dhaneshwar.
Currently it is stored in temporary variable until and unless we assign one to it.
Okay, at the moment, you mentioned temporary variable, but in real time, there is no temporary variable. It is kind of an unnamed string in the memory. So if it is kind of an unnamed string in the memory, actually, it is going to be deleted automatically by JavaScript. Okay, that is the concept. So majorly, you will not do such kind of a thing. Yes, this is good for learning purpose, for practice purpose, which is fine. But in real time, this is not something that you do. Why? You are creating a new string, which is kind of an unnamed. So can I really use this string which is unnamed? No, not possible only. So if I do something like this, what if I do first name equal to first name dot last name? What is happening now? I'm simply saying that take the first name, take the last name, concatenate, basically create a new string because strings are immutable. So create a new string and store it back into first name. That is what I'm saying. So, but the problem is first name already contains Ziggy and strings are immutable. So will JavaScript throw any error in this or what should happen? Or will this value change from Ziggy to Ziggy Canary or what? Anyone? This is interesting, guys.
It will throw an error.
Okay. Shraddha is saying undefined. Nope. Not undefined. So in this case, what is happening? So in this case, let me tell you. So first name variable. So if I try to do this, so basically I'm updating this value of the variable from Ziggy to Ziggy Canary. So this is actually going to be done. Now, strings are immutable. I cannot do anything with this particular string. So what has happened now? Now, this first name memory location is going to store this value, but this particular Ziggy is kind of unnamed now. So eventually this variable, eventually this string, which is currently present in the memory, is going to be deleted automatically. And this is something you might have heard maybe in Java, which is called as garbage collection. Now, if there is a particular object in the memory, or in the case of strings, okay, if there is a string in the memory which does not have any name, then it is going to be deleted automatically by JavaScript. And that's the concept. Okay, so just learning that this is string concatenation is not enough. You should also understand thoroughly what is happening behind the scenes from memory point of view. So from memory point of view, initially I created two variables or two simple boxes. Inside the two boxes, I have placed Ziggy for first name, Canary for last name. But as soon as I try to do first name plus last name, I'm creating a new string. But initially it is unnamed. Okay. And if I want to store it back, now what is happening here, guys? This is called as assignment. Whenever you see this equal to, it means it is assignment operator equal to. So whatever is there on the right hand side, it is going to be taken and assigned to something which is there on the left hand side. This is how all the programming languages work, whether it is Java or JavaScript. This is called as assignment operator. Okay. So, but strings are immutable. So this Ziggy is not going to be updated. In fact, this newly created string will now be stored in the first name. So this string is kind of popped out from this variable. And now this is unnamed. It is still going to be there in the memory, this Ziggy, but it will be deleted. You cannot use it. Why? It is not having any name now. Okay, I hope you are able to understand this concept, but we'll be talking about this concept in a lot more detail. So even if things are kind of hazy for now, that's absolutely fine. Okay, but this is about memory. Now, if I try to do this, instead of doing this first name, let me say let, or maybe I'll say const final string. So what is happening now? What is happening in this case? First name variable is still going to contain Ziggy. Last name is going to contain this canary, which is fine. So nothing is going to change here. Okay, but first name plus last name is creating a new string in the memory, and this newly created string is going to be stored inside the final string variable. So from memory point of view, what is going to happen? So this newly created string that I just got created, okay, is going to be stored. So this is the box which is going to contain this value, and the name of this variable, okay, is basically what? What did I create just now? It is final string. So this is the final name. That is what is happening. And yeah, I'll remove this because this is no longer true now. So this final string variable is going to hold this value. So how many total variables we have in the memory now? 1, 2, and 3. 3 variables are going to be stored in the memory. So basically, in simple terms, 3 memory locations are being allocated. So JavaScript doesn't tell us how much memory it is actually taking, unlike Java. In Java, we can clearly understand how much memory is being allocated. For example, if it is int in Java, it is clearly telling that it takes 4 bytes of memory. Okay, if it is float, it takes these many bytes of memory, or double, maybe 16 bytes. Okay, so this is what Java clearly tells, but JavaScript doesn't clearly tell us how much memory is internally being stored. Okay, so that these are some small differences between Java and JavaScript that you should be aware of. Okay, now what am I trying to do? We'll be taking a lot of examples so that this concept should be absolutely clear. So what am I doing? Now look at this. Hi plus 1. What is happening? What is happening? Anyone who would like to try it out?
String and number. We are concatenation is being done for string and number.
Concatenation is being done for string and number. Absolutely. So from memory point of view, what is happening? From memory point of view, a new string is getting created because I cannot modify this original string. But if I try to do this kind of concatenation, a new string is getting created in the memory. So how many strings are we going to have in the memory? 3 or 4 or 5 or 6? Tell me, guys, what do you think? As of now, I'm having 3, but I just did this.
Four.
How many?
Four.
4 or 5? 4. Actually, it is 5.
Four.
Why? I am creating one string, which is this one. So it is going to be stored in the memory, but temporarily. Why? It is unnamed string. It is not having any variable. Okay. So this is the 4th string. And the moment I do this, now it is the 5th string actually. Okay. Yes, I know this can be slightly confusing, but This is creating a new string in the memory, but unnamed string. No variable is pointing to it. So it is anyways going to be deleted. And yeah, this is kind of a silly. Why? I'm not doing anything with these strings. This is just to make you understand how strings work behind the scenes. Okay. Now, very important concept again, strings are indexed. Okay, so what do I mean? It is very, very simple concept. So in this case, let's say I'm taking a variable, say if I use my name, say P-I-Y-U-S-H. Now, if I take my name, so the character P has an index of 0. Okay, so let me do it like this. So I character has an index of 1. Y character has an index of 2 and so on. Okay, so if you see here, how many characters we have in my name? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it has a length of 6 characters. Okay, I hope you should be able to understand, which is pretty simple. Now, another concept that you should understand is some of you who have never coded before, okay, some of you who are seeing this coding for the first time, this may look slightly confusing and odd, but most programming languages follow it. So if I'm a human counting, if I talk about human counting starts on 1, but when it comes to programs, okay, or these programming languages, okay, so their counting does not start from 1. Their counting starts from, anyone can tell me? In the case
Zero.
of program,
Zero.
yeah,
Zero.
exactly. So programming counting starts from 0. So here, if I'm a human, I will say P has an index of 1. I'm a human. So I'll go with this human counting. But programming counting does not go with human counting. Okay. So this might look slightly odd to people, but people who are doing programming for a good amount of time, now you are quite comfortable with this particular syntax. Okay. So P has an index of 0, not 1. So this is from my understanding, but programs don't care. Okay, so they start with 0 indexing. So P has an index of 0, I has an index of 1, and what is the index of H? Quickly tell me, guys, what is the index of H
5.
in this case?
5.
5.
5.
Can I say index is length minus 1? Very important thing.
Yeah.
So the last
Yeah.
index is length minus 1. Why? Because I don't want to use hard coding. These are called hard coded indexing. Yes, for learning purpose, for practice purpose, it is good, not an issue. But when you are actually working in real-time projects, it is a very poor way if you are hard coding the indexing. Okay, so this is something we learn throughout this course. What are bad programming practices and what are good programming practices? Why we are learning bad programming practices? Because we should know what not to do. Okay, and good programming practices is all about more things that we have to do. Okay, so we should know about bad programming practices as well. Okay, so strings are indexed. That is what it means. Now, if I do this, every string has a property. Okay, what do I mean by this? If I take my name, which is Piyush, and if I simply use the dot, you see this small box. Okay, now this box has got a particular name. Anyone can tell me what is the name of this box? The box that I see here. This box is called as, anyone?
Property.
Not property. I'm talking about this entire box, this entire rectangle that I see here, right? Which contains couple of things. What is this box called as?
Suggestion.
Suggestion.
Suggestion
Operations you can do on this
operation.
string value.
Okay, that is fine. You guys are correct. But this
Methods.
box, okay, yes, that is also correct. But this box has a name. Okay, so it is called a suggestion box by layman people, but technical people call it as IntelliSense. INTELLISENSE. You should know this particular term, guys. Okay. The moment I use this dot, it is called as IntelliSense. It is a wonderful feature of all the modern IDEs. Okay. So it helps you write your code faster. Now, if you try to do the same thing in Notepad, will you be able to get this IntelliSense or the suggestion box? The answer is no. Okay. That is one of the reasons why we don't use Notepad for writing our Java, JavaScript, Python code. Yes, I can still write my Java code or JavaScript or whatever code in Notepad. But you see, these IDs are very powerful. You see, I'm getting these color combinations. I'm having these extensions that I can use this inside this VS Code editor. Okay, I see this suggestion box or this IntelliSense. Do I get to see all this in Notepad? The answer is no. Okay, so these editors are very powerful and that is why we are using these editors. Now, coming to string. Now notice that all of these things okay, are having this maroon purple. I don't know what is this color. I think it is purple, maybe. Okay, so there are purple colors, but there is one such thing that is not in purple. Do you see this is blue color? What does it mean? All these purple colors that I see are the methods, or in simple Desi term, it is function. Okay, this is function. Okay, and this length is a property. Property is what? If I talk about this string, every string has a property. Okay, what is a property? Most commonly, property is length. If I want to find out what is the length of string, see, as a human, I can find out. I don't even need this length property. This is for programming. Okay, but as a human, I can clearly see, okay, it has how many characters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Quickly, I can do it in my head. Okay, but JavaScript doesn't do it like this. JavaScript internally calculates the property, sorry, this length using this length property. And look at this. It is clearly telling you it is a property. So for property, it's very important to understand. You don't want to use these parentheses. Okay, because if you are using these parentheses like this, it means it is considered as a, anyone can tell me what is it? It is considered as a, if I use parentheses,
Method.
Method.
Function.
Method.
not
Function.
argument. It is considered as a method. So whenever you are using these parentheses, it means in simple words, it is considered like a function that you are trying to do. But length is not a function or a method. It is a property. How do I know? Just press it. See, it is telling you it is a property. So remember that for properties, you don't want to use parentheses. Okay, that's the first thing you need to understand. Now, if I want to print whether it is working fine, what do I do? Console.log. Simply do console.log. It is equivalent to system.out.println of Java. Okay, now if I simply select this code, click on the play button, and I get this output as 6. What do I mean? It simply means this particular string that is wrapped in double quotes has a length of 6. That is what it means. Sometimes in programming, I don't want to hard code it. I want JavaScript to find out programmatically. We'll be seeing a lot of examples, okay, a lot of assignments, wherein we'll be seeing what is the real usage of this length. Why do I really need it? Okay, at this moment, don't worry if you're not able to connect, where do I really use it? Because at the moment, your focus is not to connect the concepts. Your focus is to learn these concepts in bits. Later on, we'll see how to join all these concepts together. Okay, so don't focus about connecting for now. Just focus on learning these small pieces of the puzzle. Okay, later on, we'll see how to connect them. Okay, so this is about the length property. Next thing. Okay, now if I try to do this, okay, looks like somebody is kind of unmuted. So I would request all to please stay muted. Now, what if I do this? Okay, so this is a string hello space world dot length. What is the length of this string? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Is it 10 is the output or something else?
No space also can.
11.
It is
11.
11. Correct, guys. Why? Because spacing is counted. Okay, space is actually considered as a part of the length. This is very important. Now, how do I make sure? Just select the code, clear, and play button. Okay, so the output is 11. Now, can I do the same thing in the browser? The answer is yes. Let me go to the browser. So what do? I'll right click. Oh, not here. Okay, let me open browser. So google.com. I'll right click on inspect. I go to the console. Let me clear it. Control L. Now I'll simply paste it here and I get the correct output, which is 11. Is it really necessary to use console.log here? The answer is no. Why? In VS Code, it is mandatory to use console.log. If you want to print something to the console or the output, you see, I'm in the output here, which is the console. But within the browser, this console.log is not required. Why? Because I'm anyways in the browser console. So this is not required, guys. Okay. So what do? I'll simply use the up arrow key. I'll remove this parenthesis. I'll remove this as well. Now, if I'll simply hit enter, I'll get the same output. This is something a lot of people are not sure. Should I use console.log in browser? The answer is you can, but technically not required. Anyways, you are in the browser console. No need of explicitly using console.log. No, not required, not needed. I hope it makes sense. Okay. Now, We are going to see something interesting. So what if I do this? So let me create a, yes, please.
Yeah, why we don't need to have that console.log? Because it is
Because
a JavaScript.
yeah, in the browser, see, if you look at the browser, I'm anyways inside the console. If I'm anyways inside the console, I don't want to write console.log. Yes, I can still do it, not an issue. But see, I'm getting the correct output. Okay. But I can still do it even without the console.log. So in this case, this console.log is kind of unnecessary. Why? In browser, I can do it like this. This is the most straightforward option. Not needed. I hope it makes sense now. Okay. All right. So now we'll see something more about the strings. Now, let me create a variable. Let's say I'll create a variable using the const keyword. So your first preferred choice is always use const. Okay. So let me create, say, const str equal to, uh, let's say, okay, let me say Ankita. Now, if I do this, we just learned that strings are indexed. Okay. Now, what if I do this str of 0? Is it going to work? Console.log str of 0? The answer is yes. So what does this print me? It is simply going to print what? A. Okay. So str of 0 means take the 0th index and simply print in the console. Okay. And str1 means take the second character. So 0 means the first character. Why? We just learned, right? Programming counting starts from 0. It is not human counting. So that is why I have to write str of 0, which means A. Okay. Now, if I just do this, click on the play button, I get the output as A, which is fine. Now, let us do slightly confusing thing. Now, if I do this, str of 0, if I do equal to capital A. Now, tell me guys, what is the output of this code console.log of str? Just raise your hands if at all you think is the correct answer. Okay. Anyone? Just raise your hands, guys. Raise your hands. Okay. Ravi Teja. Yeah. What do you think is the right answer for this?
JavaScript is case sensitive. It will be throwing an error.
Okay. Okay. Not correct, but that's a good one.
It's
Okay.
complete string, it will be.
Mm, okay. Okay. Guys, don't unmute. Just raise your hands. Just raise your hands. Okay. So, okay. Bhanu. Yes, Bhanu. You have raised your hands. Tell me, what's the output and why?
Will it replace lowercase a with capital
I was asking you. You are asking me. No, not allowed.
A?
You're not supposed to ask me now.
Capital A NKITA, I think it should print.
No, no, Khatib. Okay.
Uh,
So, okay. Soumya has raised her hand. Okay. Yes, Soumya. You want to try? Try it out.
It will just
Tell me,
print
Soumya.
Ankita.
Yes, but with Ankita. A small a Ankita or capital A Ankita? Please be very clear.
Mm, It will be with capital A Ankita.
With the capital A Ankita? Okay. The answer is it is small a Ankita. Why? Why? Tell me, guys. What do you think? We just learned about
Strings
this,
are
right?
immutable.
Correct, guys. Strings are immutable. So this particular thing, what I'm doing is kind of completely getting ignored. Okay, so strings are immutable. So even if I try to change any particular index, that is not going to be allowed. Okay, strings are immutable. So if I try to do this now, I should get small Ankita only. Look at this. Okay, so this particular thing is completely ignored. JavaScript is not going to throw any error. So this is something you want to write this down, guys. Okay, so this is completely not allowed in JavaScript. Okay, now
Sir, just one small question. Why doesn't it throw an error over here?
why it what is the question, Danishwar? Why it is
Why
not
why
through?
it is not throwing an error?
Because this is how JavaScript developers have written JavaScript.
Okay, okay.
See, not everything has a particular logic actually. Okay, now if you'll ask me why sunrise is in the east, I don't know. That is not what I have done. Okay, so jokes apart, right? So that's a pretty good question. See, JavaScript has written some things in some weird ways, like a var keyword, like I was talking about, right? So it supports multiple declarations, right? Now, if you'll ask me why it does that, the answer is because that is how it is done actually in JavaScript. Okay, so in a way, we have to understand JavaScript with its weirdness. Okay, like nothing is perfect, right? So JavaScript is not perfect, just like how Java is. Okay, so we have to learn and embrace JavaScript the way it is. Okay, so that's your answer to the question. Now, I want to access the last character. So if this Ankita is there, I want to fetch this small a, not this a. Okay, what do I do? Console.log. Is it correct, guys? str of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 5. Is it correct? Is it correct?
Yeah, this is correct.
This
Yes.
is correct, but not really the right way of writing it. Yes, technically it is correct, but not the right way of writing it. Not the right way of writing it. So guys, just stay closer to your mic because okay, let me handpick one or two of you. Okay, so I see, okay, Husna, can you just quickly unmute and tell me what do you think is the output? Why? You there? Can you hear me? Okay, let me move on to the next one. Mahindra, you there? Maybe Mariano, you want to try it out? Okay, so what is happening here in this case, guys? Okay, I'll tell you. In this case, yes, it is going to work technically, but the problem is I'm using the hard-coded index, and hard coding is a big no in automation. Okay, hard coding is big no. Okay, so suppose if you want to create this kind of code, right? And okay, suppose if you create this kind of code, okay, and now if you want to basically check in, okay, and give it to your lead for approval, he's going to send it back to you. Why? He'll simply tell you, hey, why are you using these hard codings? This is not the right way. Now you must wonder, if this is not the right way, then what it is. Okay, let me tell you. Control// to comment, control/ in this. Okay. Oh, I remember now. Some of you are from Dubai location. You must be traveling, so you may not be able to unmute. Oh, now I remember it. Okay. Sorry, guys. I will not ask questions from some people who are from Dubai location. Okay. Now, in this case, what do I do? Console.log, instead of writing this hard-coded index, the better option is, right? str dot length. Guys, I would request you all to please stay muted. Okay. So str dot length. Okay. So is this the right way? str dot length is what? 6. But there is no sixth index. What do I do? Simply subtract 1 from it. That is the right way. So if I do this, select it. Now click on the play button after clearing it. See the output. Okay. Missing syntax. Oh my God. What did I do? I forgot to select this one. Okay. So that was a very silly of me, but which is okay. Click on the play button and I see this output, which is A. Okay. So this is how you fetch the last index. Okay. Because suppose if today the string is Ankita, what if you change this particular string? Maybe you add a new string. Okay. Suppose if this is something else like this. Okay. Now this particular code is still going to work. It is now going to give you F. Doesn't matter. Now it is going to give you D. Okay. But in this case, it is always going to give you this A only. Okay. So you want to write your code in such a way that it should always take the last character irrespective of the length of the string. That is why it is a big no. This is a very poor way of writing the code when you are using the hard-coded index. That is something you should never want to do. Okay. Yes, for practice purpose, you can write. But in real-time projects, no. Big no. You cannot do this. Okay. So yes, your manager will not laugh, but he will simply reject your code and send it back to you for changing. Okay. So this is how you find out the length of the string. I hope it makes sense. Next thing.
I have a
So
question.
yes, please.
Renuka here.
Renuka, yes. Yes, Renuka.
Piyush, is this only for the last character, or we have to use it for our like last second or last third also? Like,
Okay. In case if you
or
want to fetch the second last, that's a very good question actually, Renuka. So now you only tell me, what do you think? If you want to fetch the second last character, what is the option that you have? What do you do?
-2?
Yes, you can do n-2. Yes, that is fine. Okay. And it is always going to give you the second last character only. Suppose if this is my string, what is the second last character? It is S. Let us see. See, it is going to give you the correct output. Okay.
No, I was
So,
asking about what are the best practices. Like, suppose for
uh,
Ankita, like with this new string that you have given,
hmm.
middle two A's I want to print out. No, I mean that was fine. I actually had question on that new string only,
Okay.
updated string only.
Okay.
Suppose if it's
Okay.
a long string, I want to fetch the middle two A's. So what would
Okay.
be the best practice here?
The best practice would be to, okay, so I'm going to show you some string methods now. As of now, I'm not in a position to answer this question. Why? I have not
Sure.
taught you a couple of things that is going to answer this question for you. So
Okay.
just hold on with this particular question, because now we're going to learn some string methods that is actually going to answer this question of yours.
Sure. And one more question is, can we also use let instead of const with strings?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can we use let? Absolutely. Yes, you can use let with here. Okay. Yes, you can use let. Nobody's
I mean,
stopping you. Okay.
no,
See.
why I got confused is when you said strings are immutable,
Hmm.
doesn't matter it's a const or let, right? Anyway, it's not gonna replace
Oh, yes,
the
yes,
value.
absolutely. Yes. Oh, that's a brilliant question, actually. So, see, guys, this is a very important question. See, does not matter whether you're using let or const, okay? Because this has nothing to do with let or const. So, the let or const will come into picture if you're trying to change the value, okay? So, if you're using const, okay, anyway, string is immutable. So, anyways, you cannot do it. Okay, so what is the meaning of this const? It means this variable. Okay, this variable is kind of constant. You cannot change the value of this variable, but the string itself is immutable. You can change this string? No. But if you try to do this, is it going to, okay, what is JavaScript going to do in this case? In the case of constant, is it going to throw any error? Let us see. Simply clear and play. Brilliant question. Okay, now see, I'm not getting any error actually. So internally, JavaScript has created a new string in the memory. Okay, internally JavaScript has created a new string in the memory and storing it in this string str variable. So this is something, so I would suggest Renuka, so that's a good question. So this is something we'll keep on learning throughout this course, and as of now we are diving a lot deeper into strings. So we are actually about to understand all the most important string methods now. Okay, so if you still have questions even after covering these string methods, feel free to ask me again and I'll be happy to help you. I hope it makes
Sure.
sense for now.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Okay. Now, what are string methods? Let me clear and close it. Okay. So before I cover the string methods, I want to show you something which is related to programming, guys. Okay. So now, anyways, it is, okay, let me show you something here. Now, some of you, let's say, what is the biggest issue whenever we actually start giving interviews? Okay, in the case of interviews, right? So mostly the interviewer asks us questions. Unfortunately, he asks us simple questions, but because we have not practiced enough, or maybe we don't have our concepts clear, right? We kind of struggle actually, big time. Like one of you was actually, I was on a call with somebody yesterday night after this class, and she was mentioning, I won't name her, but she was mentioning that Piyush, I was always afraid of coding actually. Okay, right. And this is exactly how I also felt. Okay, why? Because we have not practiced enough. Okay, now let me give you a real-time example. So what exactly I'm talking about. So what I need to do. So let me just do this. Now, let's say my requirement is we are going to do a very interesting coding assignment. So this is something you all must have seen somewhere, even if manual testers must have seen this particular kind of situation. Okay, now let us do. Let a equal to 10. Okay, I won't use this one, not this. Yeah, let a equal to 10, let b equal to 20, which is a very classic, very common problem. Everyone must have heard about this problem. Now your requirement is to swap these two values. Immediately something is coming to your mind. Okay, anyone who can quickly share what is that thing that is coming to your mind, but don't unmute right now. Just raise your hand. Just raise your hand. Don't unmute. Anyone? I want to swap these variables. Guys, as other people also. I see Janishwar only raising his hands. Come on, guys. I want more hands actually. Try it out, guys. Okay. Even if you are wrong, no, nothing is wrong here, guys. We all are learning together. Okay. So, okay. I see Khatib and Naresh. Okay. So, okay. So, I just called Khatib. So, yeah, Khatib, go ahead. What do you think is the right answer for this?
To swap first, we will copy the first variable in any third variable, and then we can swap. We
Okay.
can
Now,
copy.
okay.
We can copy the second variable into first. Yeah.
Absolutely. That is exactly what we'll do. But now tell me one thing. Did you actually think about the solution, or was the solution already there in your head? Be very open and honest. 99% times people will tell me that, Piyush, I did not think about this problem. And that is a problem. That is actually a problem. Tell me, Khatib, honestly. Did you really think about this problem, or was the solution already there in your head? You might have seen this problem somewhere before.
Yeah, it is like that.
Okay. Right. Okay. Yes, Naresh. What do you think?
Yes.
Same answer, Kadeep?
A double equal to B.
No. What my requirement is, I want to swap these two variables. Means A is now 10, B is 20. I want A to be 20 and B to be 10. This is what I want to do. A to be
Yeah.
20, B to be
Same
10.
answer. Katif what he said.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let me show you what is the right way of approaching this kind of problem. Okay, because I'm not teaching you how to solve this problem. We are actually learning together how to solve these kind of problems. Okay, so with the memory diagram, it is going to be damn simple. So people who have never done coding before, right? I'm going to give you a lot of hope. This is going to be very exciting thing. Okay, now let us do it together. So what do I do? Let me create the memory. So this is my memory. I don't know why it is like this. Oh, okay, now it is working fine. Suppose if this is my memory. Now, what I want to do is, how many boxes I should create? Two boxes, A and B. Okay, so now the first box that I'll create is what? Say A. So this is my first box. And this is my second box. Okay, which is fine. Now, this is my first box, which has a label as A. This is a second box, which has a label as B. Okay, or in simple words, I can say that variable name is referring to the memory location where the actual variable is being stored. That is the real meaning of creating a variable, guys. So A has the value of 10, B has the value of 20. Okay, now what I want to do is, I want to basically swap these values. Means 10 should come inside B and 20 should come inside A. Now, how do I do this? What if I try to do this kind of thing? Okay, now let us see. What if I do this? B equal to A. Okay, what if I do this, guys? What do you think should happen? Is it the right way? Anyone? Okay,
No.
no. What is the problem here? If I try to do like this, what is going to happen? How JavaScript treats JavaScript. Okay, that is what I was telling you. This is called as assignment. Okay, so how do you solve this kind of thing? You break it into right hand side. Whatever is there on the right hand side, you take it and you take it into the left hand side. This is how you do it. So it means take the current value of A and store it in B. So what if you do like this? It means I'm changing the value of B from 20 to 10. Is it the right thing? No, this is not the right thing. Why? I'm losing the value of B now. So it means the original value of B, which is 20, is kind of lost. Okay. So what do I do? That is a major problem. Guys, please mute yourself. Just a sec. Okay. So, uh, this is a problem, right? So if I try to do B equal to A directly, okay, I'm going to lose the value of B. So what is the problem? Okay, this is the problem. Now, if you think logically, okay, yes, technically I want to do this only, but before I do B equal to A, I want to do an intermediate step because I don't want to lose the value of B. So what I need to do is, before even doing this part, what placeholder current value of B and storing in a temporary place. So I'll store this value here, 20. Okay, now I can safely do what? 20 somewhere outside. Okay, now value of B, I put it somewhere for later use. I can do this B equal to A. B equal to A means take the value of A and store it in B. Okay, so now the value of B is what? Not 20, it is actually 10. Okay, now what I want to do now is, okay, so A is actually, B is actually changed now. Okay, so can I change this? Can I take this 20 now and now I'll take it inside A? Yes. So basically I'm doing what? I'm changing the value of 10 to 20 now. That is exactly what I have to do. So how do I write this in programming? Before you even think about writing this in programming, guys, you should do this kind of calculation in your head first. Okay, so whenever you are giving any kind of interviews, don't rush into writing the code immediately. That's the first step that I want to give you. Very, very important thing. Okay, always try to write some pseudo code or some algorithm or basically a thought process into pen and paper. If you've never done coding before, right, you want to write this on a piece of pen and paper. But if you are basically an intermediate or an advanced developer, right, you can easily do all this in your head actually. Okay, which is okay, right? There's no comparison between somebody who is just starting to code versus somebody who is coding for almost 10 years now. Why? My coding muscle is already built, guys. I'm doing coding for a pretty long time. Okay, so I am able to do all this calculation right inside my head. But some of you may not be able to, which is absolutely okay. But with practice, you will reach my situation. That is what I want to tell you. So how do I write this code in JavaScript now? If you're able to understand this, okay? So in order to swap, what you need to do is take the current value of any variable, whether it is 10 or 20, does not matter. Take any variable, any randomly chosen variable. Suppose if you choose 20, store this value 20 in a third variable. Let me call it what? Let me call this as a, okay, so as a temporary variable. Okay, so now this temporary variable is holding this value 20 now. Okay, now since I've stored this value somewhere outside, now I can easily take 10, okay, basically the value of A, and store it in B. Okay, and now B is actually what? B is now 10 and A is also 10 at this moment. Okay, so what I need to do, I'll take this 20 now, which is stored in this temporary variable, and put it inside A. So I'm updating 10 from 10 to 20. So what has happened now? A is now 20, B is now 10, and that is exactly what I want to do. Okay, so how do I write this in JavaScript? Very simple now. Initially, let me show you. So if I have let A equal to 10 and B equal to 20, so I'll do this. Okay, so this is what my original code is. Now, I'll create a new placeholder or a temporary placeholder called temp or temporary, whatever you say. Okay, so I'll do what? Let temp equal to B. So how is it going to work? Right hand side first. Right hand side is going to be taken and stored it inside this temp variable. So now in this case, what is happening? A is now 10, B is now 20, and temporary is also 20 at this moment of time. Okay, now what I need to do? Okay, so I'm going to do B equal to A. What does it mean? Take the current value of A, right hand side. Take the current value of A because of this assignment operator equal to. Take the current value of A, store it inside B. Now, in this case, what is happening now? What is the current value of B now? The current value of B is actually 10 now because I have just updated this 20 to 10. So at this moment, what is the current value of A and B? Both are 10. Okay, so one thing is now remaining. What is that one thing? A equal to 10. Okay, so what is happening now? Right hand side, left hand side. So take the value on the right hand side, which is what? Temporary is what? We just did, right? Temporary is 20. So take 20 and store it in A. That is how you swap. So Khatib, as you mentioned earlier, yes, that what you mentioned is correct. But if you are doing this without doing a right thought process, that is not the right way. Because if you're telling this to interviewer, he's not going to be very happy. You want to tell him why you are doing what you are doing. Just telling the solution blindly is not the right practice. If I'm your interviewer, if you're just telling me I'll use a third variable, I'll not be impressed. Why? I want to see whether this person is actually thinking or not. Without thinking, if you're just giving me that ratified solution, no, I'll not be happy actually. Okay, I want to see whether you are really applying your thought process or not, whether you are really using your brains or not. That is what I want to do. Okay, so this is how we solve this kind of problem. Now, what do you think? Is it too difficult to understand? Tell me, guys. Okay, so Vijay has solved. Okay, so he has given the solution. Pretty nice. Okay, so Mariano has shared his solution. Perfect. This is exactly how we do. Okay, but it's not just about cramming the solution and just pasting it. It is about understanding the problem. Okay, and coming up with the right solution, guys. So I'm happy to see Vijay and Mariano, you were sharing the right solution. Very well. Very good. Okay, so there is one more way of solving this problem. Anyone can tell me, anyone who can think of any other solution, just raise your hand. If there is any other solution for this problem that you can think of. Okay, so, okay, Naresh, yeah. Prateeksha, can you please mute yourself? Yeah. Okay, Naresh, yeah, please unmute. Tell me, what do you think is the right solution? Any other thing that is coming to your mind? You just raised your hand, right? Not sure if you're there. Okay, yes, Mahindra, you're there. You can unmute.
Yeah, I have one using for that let a equal to b and b let a equal to 10 and b equal to 20. In swiping time, you have using for that a is equal to a plus b and b equal to a minus b. Again, a is equal to a minus b is also possible.
Okay, so did you do this solution in your head first, or did you just remember the solution? That is what you're telling me.
Remember, I have previously used this one.
Yeah, so that is not the right way of doing it, right? So you want to calculate why you are even doing it. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so yes, that is nothing wrong with what you're just telling me, Vijay. Okay, so let me tell you. Now, assume
Yeah.
that this is my memory again. Okay, so
Okay.
this is my memory again. Again, I have these two variables, which is A and B. Okay, so this is my A, this is my B. Now, A is what initially? A is 10 and B is 20. Okay, now, so people who have never done coding before, okay, let me show you something. So I don't know how I've written A. I hope you're able to see. Okay, this is A and this is B. Now, what if I try to do some mathematical operations on this? Okay, no, I don't know whether it is going to work or not. Let me show you something. What if I do A equal to A plus B? Okay, now, what is happening here in this case? A equal to A plus B. Anyone can tell me what is happening here? A equal to A plus B. Is it the right way? Is it the
That a
wrong way?
equal to 10 is that way.
Okay.
A equal to 30. A plus B is that 10 plus 20 equal to 30. That's the answer. A is that that variable A variable will change to the 30 position. 10 to
Okay.
30
Okay.
position.
Mm-hmm.
After
Okay.
we'll using for that B equal to A minus B. That
Okay.
time A variable is 30 minus B variable 20. 30 minus 20 is changed to
Okay.
the 10.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
automatically B variable value is automatically changed.
Okay, okay. Now, let me share with you the right approach of solving this kind of problem. Okay. Now, imagine that these are the two, okay, let's assume that these are two papers actually. Okay, this is not memory. Forget about the memory now. Imagine that there are two papers. These are two A4 size papers. On first paper, you have drawn A. On the second paper, let us call the first paper as A, the second paper as B. Okay, on the first paper, you have 10, the second paper, you have 20. Now, suppose if you try to do A equal to A plus B, what does it mean? It simply means add A and B. What is A and B? Sorry, A plus B. A plus B is what? 30. But what am I saying? A equal to A plus B. What does it mean? Take the right hand side and take it on the left hand side. It means change the value of A from 30 to 10. So now A is no longer 10. It is kind of 30 now. Okay. Now, what is B? B is still 20. Only A is changed as of now. Now, can I do something? Okay, now notice, can I really do something on B so that it should now contain not 20, but it should be A? So if you think logically, right, you can easily find out the solution actually. It is not very difficult. So can I do, if you look at these two papers now, if you look at these two papers, what if I do B, what if I do 30 minus 20 and store it in B? So if I do 30 minus 20, what is the output? It is 10. Okay, so I want to store this 10 into where? Into B actually. So can I really do B equal to A minus B? Some of you have crammed this particular solution, which is okay. Nothing wrong with it. But that is not the right solution. You want to do this calculation in your head first. Why am I even doing all this actually? So B equal to A minus B means take the current, take A, take B, subtract them together, which is 30 minus 20 is what? 10, and store it in B. So what is the current value of B now? The current value of B is now 10. I think anyone, even a non-coder, can now tell me what is the next thing I want to do in order to truly solve these values. Okay, I think it is quite simple, right? Anyone who wants to try, what is the next thing now? I just want to swap. Okay, so B is currently swapped now. B was originally 20, now B is 10. So B is actually done. Only A is remaining. Anyone who has never done coding before, now please raise your hands for people who have never done coding before. Is it Mahindra who has never done coding before? Yes, Mahendra?
Yes.
Okay, you've never done coding before, right? Now, if you
Yes.
think logically, what you need to do? A is now 30. A should be what? 20. What I can do with these two values so that A is 20? Think logically, you can easily do it.
Again, using for that A equal to A minus B.
Exactly. That is how you actually reach this particular solution. A equal to A minus B. So what is happening here? I'm saying that take the current value of B, take the current value of A, subtract them together and store it back into A. It means A minus B is what? A is 30. B is what? 10. 30 minus
10.
10, 20. Now,
20.
correct. So update this 30 to 20 now. That is how you solve these kind of problems. Now, tell me guys, is it too difficult? The way we just solved?
Hi, Piyush.
Yes.
Actually, a string is immutable, right?
Strings are immutable, correct. But currently we are
Yeah.
talking about now.
Yeah, but currently, then we are updating the value of in this location.
Correct. Yes, we can change the value of these locations. Why? We can, because they are simply numbers. Numbers are not immutable. Numbers are mutable. We can change the values. Not just values. Basically, I'm changing the value of this memory location. Currently, the value of this memory location is 10. I'm changing it to 30. And later I'm changing it to 20. That is exactly what I'm doing. So it is possible. Even if
Okay.
it was a string, I could have changed this value. Why? I'm changing the value of the container. Even if it was a string, it means I would have taken this value and throwing this string outside. Okay, strings are immutable. I'm not changing it, but the value of this memory location, I can still change it.
Yeah.
That is what I hope now it is making sense. Because if you're able to understand this memory diagram, you can solve these problems actually. And that is the right way of solving it. So now, guys, are you getting some confidence that coding is not as difficult as you think it is? Like some of you were getting some confidence yesterday, right? Okay. This is the kind of confidence that I want to develop, that coding is not difficult actually. It is quite simple. Okay. So that is what I was sharing with you. Okay. So I'll take another 5 more minutes and then I'll be opening up for questions. Okay. So now these are the kind of puzzles that we'll keep on solving together, guys. Okay. So this is going to give us a lot of confidence. Okay. Now, what if I do this? So coming to the string methods now. So we are going to learn about string methods. Now, in the case of string methods, how do we use? Okay, so all the strings come up with some set of built-in methods, okay, which are the actions that I can perform on a particular string. For example, if there's a string, say my name, Piyush. Piyush is a string. Maybe I want to search something inside the string. Maybe if I want to find out if P character is there in the string. Maybe if I want to replace something inside the string. Yes, strings are immutable. That is fine. We'll talk about what do I mean by this in this case. Maybe I want to change the case. Okay, so how do I use any of the string methods? Okay, so this is how we use it. Let me write like this. Okay, so you write the string name, use the dot and use any of the method names. What do I mean? So if str is my string, I'll write str, I'll use the dot, okay, and then all of these are methods that I can use as per my requirement. Okay, now if I want to do something, let's say my requirement is I want to convert this string to an uppercase. So what is the value of str? Let me change these garbage values. Okay, so let's say str is Ankita. Okay, now if I do str dot to uppercase, what is happening now? What is the output of this code? If I do console.log str dot to uppercase, I think it is quite simple. Anyone can tell me, right? Just looking at the name itself, right? What
That
am I doing? Yeah,
characters was move on to that uppercase letters.
exactly. I'm actually converting this string to an uppercase. So if I'll now run this code, okay, let me just take this Ankita string, okay, here, so that it is easy. Okay, let me create another string str1. Now, if I run this code, let's see, play. I'm getting this Ankita. Now, some of you might start wondering, hey, just now the trainer was saying that strings are immutable, but looks like strings are mutable. I'm able to change it. What is going on? Okay, strings are still immutable. Okay, I'm not modifying the string, guys. So from memory point of view, what is happening in this case? From memory point of view, I am creating a brand new string in the memory actually. Okay, so what is a variable that is referring to this memory location where this newly created string is present? The answer is it is an unnamed string. So this is only for my learning purpose that I'm doing it. Okay, I'm not storing this newly or the uppercase string into a variable. Okay, so this string is eventually going to be deleted from the memory. Okay, which is going to be called as garbage collection. So garbage collection simply means remove something from the memory which does not have any name, which does not have any reference. So this newly created string does not have any reference. But if I do, instead of doing this, if I take this string and if I do str1 equal to str1 dot to uppercase, now what is happening here? I'm saying that create a new string. Now this is what left hand side, this is what right hand side. Take the value of right hand side and store it in the left hand side. This is called as assignment, JavaScript assignment. So strings are immutable, correct? But this newly created string is now going to be stored inside this container called str1. So what happens to the originally created string? This string is kind of popped out from this container now. And this string is kind of unnamed. This string will be deleted from the memory because of this assignment. But if I don't do this assignment, okay, this container str1 is going to contain this string only. This is a newly created string, but unnamed string. It is not going to be stored somewhere. It cannot be reused. It is a one-time use string now. Hopefully the concepts are somewhat getting clear. If you still have doubts, feel free to ask me. I'm done for today otherwise. Okay, so now I'm open for questions.
Piyush, this last portion is confusing. So what we are
Okay.
saying is we can change the lowercase to uppercase. That is allowed, but I cannot change from Ankita to Renuka, right? Because strings are immutable. We
Hold on,
cannot
hold
do
on, hold
that.
on. Okay, I understand where this question is coming from. Okay, let us break it down in very simple terms. Okay, now taking your name so that it will be easier. Let's say let name2 equal to Renuka. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. Now, Renuka, you have a question. So can I change this to uppercase Renuka? Okay, the answer is yes. Can I do this name2 dot to uppercase? Where is it? Here. Now, what is happening here? What do you think, Renuka, in this case?
It will convert to the uppercase, but again, there is no memory allocated to it, is it?
No, 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 no. You are using the wrong word here. You are saying you are converting. No, no, no. I'm not converting it because the concept is whenever I'm using any of the string methods, because strings are immutable, firstly, I cannot convert or I cannot
Convert it.
change the, yeah, I cannot change or convert the existing string. So existing string is Renuka, which is stored inside name2 variable. Okay. So what is happening from memory point of view? I am creating a new string in the memory, but what is the name of this memory location which is storing it? There is no name.
No
Why?
name.
Yeah. Am I
We haven't
doing
assigned
let,
it. Yeah.
let name to uppercase? If I do something like this, now I'm giving it a memory location. But if I don't do this, it means I'm not giving this uppercase string a memory location. Okay, so this is kind of an unnamed string. So technically,
Oh,
this is useless actually. This operation
oh,
is completely useless. Why? I'm creating a new string, but not storing it anywhere.
yeah.
I cannot use it. Yeah, sorry. I can use, I have to store it somewhere in the memory, but it does not have a name, so I cannot use it later on. So this is a one-time use string actually, to be more precise. Is it now clear, Renuka, what is happening?
This is clear, but the question again is if I
Huh.
assign it to another variable, okay, or another this thing. Suppose let name3 is equal to name2 dot uppercase, right?
Okay. Okay. Now, what's the question?
Now it will, yeah, now uppercase Renuka will be stored in name3.
Correct.
But name2 will still remain Renuka, right? So that means
Absolutely.
that's why we are saying strings are immutable. But again, we can now use name3 if we want to use the uppercase Renuka, correct?
Exactly, exactly. So you are still you're not breaking the concept of strings are immutable. Why? This string is not getting changed at all. You are simply creating a new string from this method and storing it in a new variable. So the original variable is still containing the previous Renuka. So
Got
your
it.
original concept strings are immutable is still intact, right? We are not
So
breaking
when
it.
we are, yeah, so when we are saying strings are immutable means we cannot tamper with name2 value. That's what it
Yes,
means.
Correct. We cannot tamper this particular value, right? I can still store something inside name2, but this value will be popped out and it is going to be unnamed later on if you want.
And changing the uppercase also is like tampering it, right? We cannot do that also, right?
It is not tampering. It is like taking a copy and then doing the modification.
No,
Did
no,
you get
that I got. But name2, I
Yeah.
cannot convert it and let it be stored in name2, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely. You cannot do this.
Got it. Got it. Thank you.
No worries.
Piyush, I have one
Piyush.
question. Sorry,
Guys,
Piyush.
one by one. Okay. Yes, Pratiksha, go ahead.
Yes, Piyush. I'm now confused between this dynamic typing and strings are immutable. Because yesterday
Okay.
you told me that the data, the value of in the stored in the variable can be changed anytime. So I had this query since you did the swapping
Okay.
script.
Right.
So in
Okay.
that also we can change it anytime, right? If dynamic typing is handled in JavaScript, then
Okay. So looks
why
like you're
can't?
getting Yeah. Okay. So Pratiksha, please stay unmuted now. Okay. First
Yes.
thing.
Okay.
Okay. If I do this, it looks like you're getting confused between dynamic typing and this strings,
Yes.
which is completely different concept. Now, with dynamic typing, what is happening here? If I do this, name2 equal to, can I do this? Yes, this is loud. Is this
Mhm.
dynamic typing? No, because it is one string. I'm not changing another string. So this is not dynamic typing. Why? I'm still storing another string. Okay. But if I do this name2 equal to 10, this is called as dynamic typing. Means I'm trying to change the type of this value. The type is string. Now I'm trying to store a number inside this variable, which is name2.
So this is allowed, but you cannot change the string value.
Correct. Yeah, I cannot change this value. I cannot, okay, to make
Okay.
it simple, more clear, I cannot tamper this value. I can change the value of this variable, but I cannot tamper this value because strings are immutable.
Okay. Got it. Got it
Or
now.
you can think of this like a black box. Even if you try
Mm-hmm.
to break it with hammer, you cannot do it. Why? This box is immutable kind of. You
Okay.
can you do whatever it takes, but this box you are not going to break it.
Okay. Got it.
Yes. Yeah. Any more
Okay.
questions?
Yeah, Piyush, can we do in line number 77 dot to uppercase? We cannot, right?
You mean line number 77? We can. Nobody's stopping us. Yes, we can. To uppercase, I can. What is happening again? I am creating a new string in the memory. Okay. So this Renuka is not going to be stored now in name2. In fact, Renuka is going to be created in the memory, but unnamed. Okay. But what is happening here? Technically, two strings are going to get created. One is Renuka, one is Renuka.to uppercase. Two strings. But which is going to be stored inside name2? The uppercase Renuka is going to be stored inside name2. And what about this string then? This string is going to be unnamed.
After some time, garbage collector will
Garbage
collect this
collection.
value.
Yes, garbage collection will automatically delete this Renuka. But Renuka in all uppercase is still going to be stored inside name2. It is not going to be garbage collected. As long as a variable is having this value, it is not going to be garbage collected.
But finally, it will store the latest value, right?
Correct.
Renuka in
Yes,
uppercase.
exactly.
And
So whenever I
still it
use this
will,
string method, go
and
ahead.
still it will, Renuka will be somewhere in with unknown name. It will be inside the memory, right?
Yes. And we don't have a control on this garbage collection. JavaScript doesn't tell us after how many seconds or milliseconds or how many minutes later, JavaScript deletes it automatically. We don't have a control. But we just need to understand is after the whenever the time is right, garbage collection will happen automatically, and all those variables that don't have a name, they will going to be deleted automatically. As simple as that. It's not just Renuka. Any variable that is or any value that is unnamed, it is going to be simply removed from the memory. That is the simple meaning of garbage collection, removed from the memory. It is all about memory preservation so that we are not wasting memory. That's the whole point.
Correct. Thank you.
I have another question on this.
Yes, Madhumita, go ahead.
Yeah. So if you give a name to equal to another name, for example, as you said, you can give Piyush on the line number 80 instead of 10.
Okay, so you want
Yeah.
me to
So
do that?
name, yeah. So it has a new value right now, right? So it has a previous one is Renuka dot to uppercase, and then it has a new name Piyush. So which will be saving in the memory name in the memory
Okay.
location name
Yeah,
2.
that's a good question. So, Madhumita, in your case, what is happening? In fact, if you do, okay, let us ignore this one. Let me comment out so that it is more clear. Now, oh, sorry, just a sec. Now, what is happening in this case? I'm creating how many strings? One string, which is unnamed, another string, which is going to be stored in name2, at least here. Now, I'm doing name2 equal to Piyush. What is happening? I'm simply telling that inside this particular memory location, which is name2. So name2 is basically what? Yes, I call it as a variable, but internally in JavaScript, name2 is actually the memory location where this value is stored. What is the current value of this name2? At the moment, it is capital Renuka. But if I do this now, I'm telling JavaScript, remove this capital Renuka and store Piyush inside. So what happened to this Renuka and the capital Renuka? They both will be deleted automatically after some time, whenever the time is right. So JavaScript starts executing from top to bottom. So when I'm here, if I'm here at this moment, name2 is capital Renuka. But after executing this line, name2 is no longer capital Renuka. Name2 is Piyush, which is this. So this Renuka and the uppercase Renuka is going to be garbage collected. Is it now?
Isn't it conflicting with strings are immutable?
Yeah,
Not at
With
all.
this
I also
statement?
got confused. Yeah,
Okay.
again.
So see, guys, am I okay? When I say strings are immutable, am I changing this particular string or am I changing this particular string, which is this one? No, right? I'm not changing this string. I'm not changing this string. I'm simply saying whatever is the container. Okay. Now imagine that I have a cookie box. Okay. Now imagine I have a cookie box like this. Okay. Now inside this cookie box, what am I doing? I'm simply taking out, okay. Initially, what is happening? I'm storing this Renuka in the cookie box. Now inside this line, what am I saying? I'm saying that take out Renuka from this cookie box and now put this value inside the cookie box. Am I doing anything with this? No, I'm not doing anything.
No.
Exactly. So strings are still immutable. I'm simply saying
Okay.
take
We are
out Renuka from the
changing what
box.
is in the cookie box, right? I mean,
Yeah,
see,
correct.
name two
But
cookie box has Renuka. So when we say strings are
uh,
immutable, means name two should always have Renuka. I mean, we should not disturb.
no, that is not what it means. Strings are immutable means this string is cannot be changed. This variable can change actually because variable is simply storing this value. This value itself cannot change. That is the meaning of strings are immutable. Looks like you guys are going in a different track now. So I hope you are able to understand. So variable is one thing, this value is another thing. Okay, value is one thing, variable name is another thing. Okay, all you are doing is simply storing this value inside this variable. Okay, later on you are popping out this value and storing a new value in the variable. So what is variable? Variable is simply the memory location where the value is being stored. That is what it simply means. So value can be 100 values. I can store one after the other. So initially I can store this. Later on I can store this. Later on I can store this. And eventually later on I can even do this also. Name2 equal to true. I can still do this. What is happening now? I'm storing two separate values. Firstly, I stored Renuka inside name2. I popped it out. I stored Piyush. Later on, what did I do? I popped out Piyush and now I stored true. But I'm not changing Piyush. I'm not changing this Renuka. So what does it mean? Strings are still immutable.
Can you
I'm
give
only
us an
changing.
example of when strings are changed? Just to
I'm
just
sorry.
to make sure I like clearly.
Okay,
I'm
so
sorry. Earlier I thought I'm clear. Now again I got confused.
don't worry. So when you say strings are changed, this is when we are trying to change, but we are not really changing because strings are immutable. So any operation that you try to do on a string, any of the string methods that you want to try on any of the string, you cannot change. All it does is it simply creates a new string in the memory. You cannot change an existing string because as per JavaScript, this is a fundamental characteristic of JavaScript and Java both. Okay, once a string is created in the memory, you cannot modify it. Okay, let me give a simple example. It is like after 18, my height can never change. I can move from one place to another place. I can stay in one house. For 10 years, I was in Mumbai. Okay, so my height is still going to remain the same. Now I'm currently in Punjab location. Right? Is my height going to change now? No, my height is never going to change. It is a static thing now. As long as I'm going to stay alive, my height is not going to change. Same thing. String, as long as it is going to be there, it cannot be modified. Yes, I can change this variable value to something else. This is just a value, guys. Value can be inside a variable, value can be not inside a variable. Like in this case, this Renuka is not inside any variable. Okay, this Renuka is going to be inside the variable because of this.
No, then what do you mean by changing Renuka? Like, what do you do to Renuka to make it so we can say it is changed now?
Okay,
So
I'm not. Okay, go ahead.
so see, when we changed it to uppercase, also it is changed, right? And that is also allowed. When we change from Renuka to Piyush, that means
Huh.
Renuka is popped out. Now it's Piyush. That also we are allowed to do. So I'm trying to
Hmm.
understand, like, what is the example that is not allowed?
Okay, firstly,
Piyush, you mean Renuka's R cannot be replaced with P. That's what you meant?
okay, I mean to
Like,
say from the memory point of view. Okay, so let me show you. So, okay, I hope you are able to see this particular thing, right? You are able to see
Yeah.
this memory diagram,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yes.
yeah.
So let me draw the memory diagram. So looks like you guys have basically are on a mission now to help me forget what all things I know about JavaScript. So let us do it. Okay. So just kidding. So what we'll do now is, okay, now I have two variables. Okay, so let me do this. Let me draw basically two boxes first. So this is one box. This is another box. Now, what is happening? So if you see here in the Visual Studio Code, what is saying? Let's say I'm having a variable which is name. Okay, now what is the value of this variable? Let's say the value of this variable is say Piyush. Okay, so this is the value of this variable. Now, I hope this is making sense. What is Piyush? Piyush is basically a string which is immutable. Now, can I do this? Can I do name dot to uppercase? I can do. So if I try to do this now, name dot to uppercase. From memory point of view, what is happening now? It means that take this current string, copy it first, and then change it. Okay, so it means the original string is completely immutable. I cannot change this current value. Okay, now notice that I'm not doing name equal to name dot to uppercase. I'm not doing this. I'm simply doing name dot to uppercase. It means what am I doing? I'm simply saying that create a new string in the memory somewhere. So if you see, I'm creating a new string in the memory, but this is unnamed string. Yes, it is inside a box, but this box has no name. This box has a name. This box does not have any name. So can I really use this? Can I really use it? Can somebody in your office call you without without knowing your name? As simple as that. No, right? It is not possible.
No.
So yes, right? So that is the meaning of strings are immutable. But instead of doing this, suppose if you do this, okay, let me show you. Suppose if you do name equal to name dot to uppercase. If you do this. Now, what is meaning? What is the meaning? It means I'm telling that create a new string, okay, and store it back into name. So it means now what happens? This Piyush is going to be popped out from this. Okay, and this Piyush is going to be stored inside this. That is what it simply means.
And a
So
small
now what?
piece will be garbage collected.
Correct. This Piyush would be garbage collected. I don't know why the confusion is coming from. Okay,
No, so
so
they are saying means give some example where this value is not going to change. So that can be
Yeah.
the console.log. So if you will try to print the value of the name variable using
hmm,
console.log, then you will
hmm,
get small Piyush only. Okay.
exactly. Yes,
Until
correct.
and unless if we don't assign it to the name variable.
Hmm,
That is
absolutely.
the thing.
Yes. Okay. So what I would suggest you guys is if you still have some questions, what I would suggest is try to write this code yourself, try to run it line by line. Okay. Use console.log in every place. See, at this moment, we are practicing. We are not here to submit our code to our lead or manager that he's going to complain. No, right? So you can try write this line of code. Okay. Use console.log at every position and you will be able to understand, even if things are not very clear, which is okay. Okay, so Marianne is saying thank you guys. I need to attempt another call. That's okay, guys. So if you guys are getting late, you can drop off. So we are just kind of answering the people questions now. Okay, so don't worry, Renuka. If things are not very clear, they are still hazy, right? Try to draw this memory diagram yourself. At this moment, you are seeing me draw this diagram, but there's a completely different thinking when you're doing this yourself. Okay, so try to do this yourself first. If you still have doubts, feel free to reach out to me. I'll make sure I will clear this doubt for you. If you still have
Sure.
doubts, don't worry.
Okay.
Okay, right?
Thanks.
So, other than the string immutability concept, any more questions? Okay,
Yeah,
so
please.
guys, I okay, just a sec, guys. I have a small question. There are some people, I'll copy it. So, okay, just a sec. I'm actually posting in the chat. These are 4 people actually. We don't have names and full names of these 4 people. So I don't know. If you see in the chat, there are 4 people: Nagade, Venkat, Venkata, Shiva Shankar. If some of you are present, okay, and if you have this name, please reach out to me. Okay, so Nagada is saying Narsimha Gad. Okay. Oh yeah, you are there, right? So Narsimha, I don't have your number actually. Okay. So if you can share your number with me, it will be great. And if there are other peoples like Venkat, Venkata, and Shiva Shankar, please share your name. Share your numbers also with me. Okay. Yeah. Any more questions? Somebody was asking me a question. Yeah,
Yeah,
please go ahead. Who's this? Ravi Teja or
yeah, Piyush.
yes, Ravi Teja.
So in the 77 line, first name2 is equal to Renuka dot to uppercase. So
Not
it is,
Renuka again, yaar.
no, I'm just reading it.
Okay, let us take a completely new example now. Renuka must be tired of after hearing her name so
My
many
name
times. Okay,
has created so much confusion.
that is what I'm saying. So let us not mess up with Renuka now. She's going to kill both of us, Ravi Teja. So let us take a new.
Sure.
So we can simply understand it by using console.log. So
Exactly.
probably that will easier for all of them.
Exactly. Right. So Ravi Teja, the same thing. If you still have doubts regarding string immutability and all, I would suggest try to write this code line by line. You, as Shraddha rightly mentioned, use console.log at every place. Okay. Try to draw the memory diagram. Right. Don't do this in whiteboard. Do this in your pen and paper. Everything would be crystal clear.
Yeah,
And
I
basically,
understand.
yeah.
I understood the concept. If we change the variable name, could you scroll up once?
Yes, I can change the variable name.
So let's say name2 will be,
Oh,
80 line, name3.
okay, so what exactly you want me to do? Okay, let me create a new variable name3. That is what you're saying. Name3 equal to,
Yeah,
okay.
name3 and no, in the 80 number, line number 80,
Huh?
here instead of name2, if you
Acha,
write
okay,
name3,
let name3 equal to Piyush. That is what you're saying?
yeah, this will be creating a new memory.
Exactly. Whenever you are using the let or const keyword, you are creating a new memory. That is what I said. This part is called
Correct.
as declaration. Let or const is declaring or reserving some space in the memory. Okay. This part is called as initialization. Means whatever memory you just declared with let or const, store this value inside this box called name3. Or in simple words, name3 is the name of the memory location, which
Yeah,
contains this value. Yeah. What's
yeah, I
up?
understood. Yeah, 77 line number, name2 equal to Renuka dot to uppercase. So Renuka will be stored initially in
Okay.
the memory.
No,
And
Renuka is
then
not going. No, 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 no. Hold on. Renuka is this person. This Renuka is never going to be stored. Why?
it is
Because
directly,
I'm directly using this
Yeah,
string.
yeah. Okay,
it
okay,
will be
got it.
directly converted to upper string and
Uppercase.
it will be stored in name2.
Yes.
As rightly mentioned by Shraddha, so this is converted to uppercase. So this string, this Renuka is going to be stored inside name2. And
So
this
if
Ah,
you will
Renuka is
console.log, then you will use console.log name2. Then uppercase Renuka will be printed. But
Yeah.
you
exactly.
means strings are immutable means you cannot use small Renuka, right? You
ah,
I
cannot
correct.
okay.
anyway.
There I got confused. So what if we had name to equal to Renuka before this line, before line 77?
Shraddha, you only
Then
explain. I'm not able to understand actually.
So if you are using let name to
suppose,
equal to Renuka, you are
yeah,
saying. Renuka,
Suppose
you
in
are
line 76 we have let name to equal to Renuka. The string Renuka that is mentioned there. And then 77th line says let name to equal to Renuka dot to uppercase. Then
then you
what's
are
gonna be
then it
not
means you
allowed?
are no, you are reassigning the variable to the uppercase value.
But still that variable is name to only, right? Where we have already assigned Renuka, then we are using the same variable to change it to uppercase.
Piyush, can I say one thing?
Yes, please, Naresh.
Strings are immutable means the content of the string cannot be modified, isn't
Cannot
That
it?
be
is what
changed.
Yeah, that's what
that is
I
what I
also
was,
thought.
yeah. Exactly. That is what exactly it is. The content of the string cannot be modified, but the variable can be
Yeah.
modified because
Just we
variable
are
is one thing.
assigning that string to the variable.
Exactly. Variable is one thing. Okay. And the value is different thing.
Okay, I'm gonna try it out before I ask next question.
Yes, please.
Sorry.
Now I'm requesting you, please try it out before asking me this question on strings. Otherwise, I'll forget only what strings are immutable.
Okay,
Okay.
sure.
You
Any other
forgot
question
my
other than strings are immutable? I'm not going to answer this
Sorry,
question now.
sorry about that. A lot
No,
of
no, no.
confusion.
No. That is totally fine, which is okay, guys. See, we are learning together. That is what I'm saying. I'm not teaching you something. We are learning together, actually. Okay. So we all can actually come up with some new things, which is absolutely fine. Okay. So, which is okay. So, no sorries here, guys. We are just learning together. We should have some fun. That is what we are doing, actually. Okay. Right. So, I'm not at all irritated or frustrated because if you're asking me same question again and again, no, which is fine. This is my responsibility to make your concepts clear. That is why you're joining this course, right?
Yeah, correct.
Absolutely. Okay. Any other question?
Yeah, one general question not
Uh,
related to the
yes.
strings.
I'm so
So,
glad to hear this general
Naresh.
question. Please ask me. Yeah.
yeah, a way to use termination like console.log, can I terminate it? And after declaring the variable, can I terminate it? I have seen a couple of
Hmm.
at my free time, a couple of videos related to the JavaScript.
You're
So
talking about the
let's
semicolon?
say page.goto can be terminated,
Okay,
like
okay, okay, okay. Okay.
semicolon.
Okay. So before I answer this question, so Vijay is asking one question. So Vijay is saying 9 to 10 is the class time or it will extend. So what is happening here? So Vijay, at this moment, we are currently doing the demo class. Okay. In the demo class, people are having a lot of questions related to the course content and all these things. So as of now, we are kind of extending it. But once the regular class starts, we'll try to complete by 10:20 or max 10:30 something. Okay. Right. So yes. Yeah. And if you are getting late or something, yeah, Husna, you can leave. Okay. So as of now, we are just, people have some questions. So that is why we are kind of extending, but eventually we'll make sure that we are actually following the times properly. I understand. If it is kind of getting too late, it is going to be very difficult. Yeah. So we'll try to stick to the timings. I hope you are able to understand. Yes, Naresh, coming to your question.
Yeah, semicolon can be used anywhere, or is there any simple way to remember in
Okay.
JavaScript or TypeScript?
Okay, so I'll tell you. So in Java, if we talk about, so in Java, semicolons are mandatory. Okay,
Hmm.
very simple. If I don't use semicolon, I'm breaking the syntax because as per Java, it is a law. You can say it is by law or it is mandatory that I have to use semicolons. Now, coming to JavaScript and TypeScript. So JavaScript is very lenient language. Java is very stricter language. So in JavaScript, see, I am not using semicolons at all. But if I
Yeah.
want, I can use semicolon like this. Right? Now, the problem is I can use semicolon here, but I can choose not to use semicolon, which can be confusing to other people. Now, they might wonder, why is he using semicolon here in line 82? Why is he not using semicolon in line 83? Okay, so it is always a good idea to be consistent.
Which
That's
is the
the good.
best coding practice?
Best practice is use semicolons actually, so that it
Semicolon.
is very, very clear that you are terminating your line, just like
Okay.
Java. So try to be as stricter as Java.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So guys, what we'll do is like other people will start killing me now. So what we do, if you still have some doubts, feel free to reach out to me in person. But now we can end the class. Otherwise, people will say that we are having a 2 hour class only. No, we're not having 2 hour class actually. Okay. So we'll try to cut short by 10, 20 or 10:30 max from tomorrow. Okay. Right. So,
Only
and
2 questions, Piyush. I
okay.
forgot that I was asking question.
Okay. Yes, Saviteja.
Last
Okay.
2.
Let us do it a little quickly now. Yeah. Go ahead,
Yeah,
please.
60-second line. Could you check that?
60. Which line?
60-second line.
60-second. Oh, you still remember 60-second. Okay. Yeah. Tell me, please.
Yeah,
What's the
there str inside that again array you have started. I didn't get that. What is it? Str
okay.
inside.
Okay. Inside. Okay. See, what my requirement was, I wanted to print the last character of the string, which is this A. Okay. That is what my original requirement was. So I just showed you that this is how I can do console.log str of 5. Now, this is how I can do. But is it the right practice? The answer is no. Why? Because this is a hard-coded index, and that is what I've written. Hard coding
Correct.
is a big no. Okay. Now, if hard coding is not allowed, then what should I do? I want to find out this length programmatically at runtime. So how do I find out this length? I know that the length of the string is what? Just tell me, what is the length of the string? 6, right? But this A
5.
is not 6. A has an index of 5 because we just learned that human counting is starts from 1, but programming counting starts from 0. So if this is 0, this is not 6, this is actually 5. So that is what I'm doing. str.length is what? 6, right? Right? str.length is 6. 6 minus 1 is what? 5 only. So it's the same thing as 5. But this is hard-coded number, which is a big no. This is the
No.
right.
Yeah, that I understand. But str inside str you have written that
Yeah, we
syntax
can do.
only.
Oh, this is fine. We can do. I'm not saying str of str. I'm simply saying calculate the length of str, subtract 1 from it so that eventually it is str5 only.
Okay. Last
Yeah.
question.
Hmm.
If there is a scroll up little, so we have
Okay.
written Ankita. Instead, if we have any lengthy JSON, in that case, we cannot write that str.length -1.
Okay, in the case of JSON, we cannot use the length. Why? Length can be used with arrays and strings. You cannot use the length with JSON. In order to calculate the length of JSON, this is something that we'll see in the objects part. But this is too advanced for now. At this point, we are learning very slow actually. We are going step by step in a very structured manner. So yes, we'll talk about objects in depth. But I would suggest just hold on with this particular question. Why? We have not covered objects as of now.
Correct.
Okay, guys. So, okay, some of you are dropping a message. Piyush dropping off. Whenever recording is ready, can you send me? Yes, I will do. Okay. So that's it. Okay, guys. So yeah, I think it was a pretty good class. So thank you so much for asking these many questions. I really appreciate that. Right. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at 9 o'clock. All right. See you guys. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, Piyush.
All right.